TumbleSeed is a tough game. I've beaten every Souls game, I've platinum Bloodborne, I like hard games, but TumbleSeed, this game caused me more frustration than any Souls game. The tutorial stages are very easy and the cartoony graphics and soothing music can give you the impression that the game will be easy, but that isn't the case. You play as a seed balancing on a beam that needs to make its way up the mountain. You use the analog sticks to move the beam up and down and roll the seed along it. The aim of each stage is to move the seed up to the top of the level, but you need to avoid the holes and creatures that can cause death. It sounds straightforward enough, but controlling the rolling seed can be tricky and involves very precise movements of the analog stick to roll the seed in just the right way to avoid obstacles. When you combine that with deadly creatures, some of which chase you around the screen, then you've got a game that becomes very difficult. Being chased around the screen by snakes and flying insects while trying to carefully get past some holes was super stressful. The developers have labelled the game a roly roguelike, and like a roguelike, if you lose all your hearts you die and start all the way back at the beginning of the game. Once you finish the tutorial levels, you start the proper game with 4 core abilities. As you travel up the levels, you find crystals that you can use to activate your abilities when you plant them. There are areas to plant your crystals through the level, and one of your abilities allows you to create more crystals by rolling over 3 of those areas. You also have the ability to plant a crystal for a checkpoint to return to if you fall into a hole, an ability to grow thorns to kill creatures on the stage, and you can gain extra hearts by planting 4 crystals. There are more abilities to acquire through the game. Some are given free at checkpoints in the stage, and some can be bought if you save enough crystals. I liked experimenting with all the different types, but also found they were a bit of a distraction. When I got a new ability, I wanted to use it, but I found I needed to just focus on getting to the top safely and conserving my hearts, rather than trying to use a new ability. The crystals are key to making progress in the game. It's the only currency in the game, and it can be a tough decision whether to save them to buy an ability later on, use them to gain an extra heart, or put them towards attacking the enemies. Because I found the game so hard, I would normally try and stack as many hearts as possible, but I also found the checkpoint ability was important, because if you fall in a hole and have to restart the level, you lose additional hearts for how far back you need to travel. The game has so many different mechanics like this to learn, and it leaves it to you to figure them all out. I like it when a game doesn't hold your hand much and keeps you on your toes to try and understand all the aspects of the game. The stages aren't huge, but taking each one slowly and carefully can mean they can take up to 15 minutes to finish. It may not sound like a game that would take long to beat, but as I mentioned, the game is very hard. It's so easy to fall into a hole or roll into an enemy. You have to concentrate at all times. I found even a little distraction, like my wife talking to me in the middle of a level, can take away my focus and result in death. Finishing a stage left me with a sense of relief rather than accomplishment, and also dread to take on the next stage. My overall opinion of the game is kind of mixed. When I was playing the game, I would often get frustrated and annoyed, but I kept wanting to go back and play it. I was pretty bad at it and would die often, but I still wanted to keep playing. This is a game for people that enjoy a challenge and can maintain composure even after dying for the 20th time on the first level. If you're that kind of person, then I recommend TumbleSeed. It's hard and frustrating, but it's also addictive and deep. I've never played a game quite like it, and despite hating the game at times and needing to take a break from it every half an hour, I am glad I played it.